Do it.
Do it!
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's your pal Noms here, and today we're going to be talking about the Game Awards. The Game Awards. So, I think this is the most prestigious games awards journalist event of the year. It's because that's what everyone's been tweeting at me, and what I've been seeing all over Twitter, and what I've been hearing about, and who should win, and yeah. So we're going to be talking about these guys because apparently this is the award show that matters. And we're going to see the lineup they've got. It's a decent lineup, save for one entry. We're going to go through them right now. So here's the lineup. These 6 games have been nominated for Game of the Year. That's like winning Best Picture at the Oscars, essentially, except the Oscars suck and haven't been defined by quality since The Lord of the Rings. That was the last time the Oscars were defined by quality. Anyway, the lineup is Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Okay, it's not the one I would have picked from Nintendo, but, I enjoyed Animal Crossing, I'm not going to lie, and that game made bank. That game sold like a motherfucker. Yeah, you know what? Put it on there. Doom Eternal, the front runner in my opinion. The game which has been praised to hell and back, literally. The game you'll likely find in just about every YouTuber's background as they spout off some nonsense. Yes, like you're seeing right here. There's a reason why Doom Eternal is so prominently displayed on YouTube, why people are still talking about it. They just had their first DLC release, The Ancient Gods, which I still haven't finished. I've been playing a lot of shit on Xbox Game Pass, so it's been occupying my time, not to mention making videos, obviously. Doom Eternal, frontrunner. That's the horse I'm backing, and I'll explain why soon. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've never played Final Fantasy, okay? I'm nothing against the franchise, but a remake. You're going to tell me a remake qualifies for Game of the Year? Kind of seems like a wasted choice, to be perfectly honest. Ghost of Tsushima? Now look, personally, if there was a game that wasn't going to be Doom Eternal that I would want to win, based on what I've seen in terms of gameplay and the praise it has gotten, it would be Ghost of Tsushima. Unfortunately, I don't have a PS4, so I haven't played it. I'm kicking myself for that. I want to play that game. Mazel tov to all the praise it's gotten. Seriously, it's just I can't really render judgment, especially over Doom Eternal, because that's the game that I've played the most this year. Doom Eternal is the most addictive game I've ever played, and it's running against Ghost of Tsushima, widely praised, but I haven't played it. So if Ghost of Tsushima wins, I'm not going to be sweating. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be pissed off. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Fantastic. I'm happy for it. Ghost of Tsushima would be my second pick if I wanted one of these games to win. Hades, I've never played it. I hope it. I haven't even seen footage, so I'm just going to leave my opinion to myself on that one. And then we have The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2, the most easily, I think, yeah, I'd say so, the most controversial video game of the year. The Last of Us 2. Side note, where the hell is Ori and the Will of the Wisps? I was pissed. When I didn't even see it nominated for Game of the Year. Yeah, it's a small indie 2D Metroidvania platform, but my god, did that game live up to the hype. That game was close to perfection. It was fantastic. Play Ori and the Will of the Wisps if you haven't already. It's on Game Pass. Get that shit. Anyway, that game was passed up for the likes of games like The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 is nominated for Game of the Year. Now, again, like I said, the Game Awards. This seems to be a very prestigious award, we'll call it a ceremony, I guess, or a presentation in the video game industry. Now, I've gone through the history since they've been doing it, and I've only really disagreed with 2 of their picks in the past for Game of the Year. The first, I think it was the first year they did it, Dragon Age Inquisition. I played Dragon Age Inquisition. I liked it. I played it a lot. I think I finished it. I just don't remember much of it, and possibly the experience fell very flat for me because I hadn't played the other 2 Dragon Age games. Dragon Age Inquisition was my first Dragon Age game, and I enjoyed it, but I don't know if it should have won that year for Game of the Year. I think that was a bit much. And the second choice that they did was for 2016, and they picked Overwatch for Game of the Year. Now, I haven't played Overwatch, so again, I'm going to kind of keep my opinion to myself on that. I find it very hard to believe that Overwatch was better than Titanfall 2, though. And, you know, there was a bunch of other games released that year. But 2 picks, you know, God of War got Game of the Year. I saw the reviews that game got. I saw the gameplay. I had no problem with God of War winning in 2018. Sekiro, I played Sekiro. I had no problem with Sekiro winning in 2019. I didn't finish it. I've been meaning to. It's on my to-do list. But I had no problem with Sekiro winning. Zelda won, thank God. And of course, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Both of those were given Game of the Year by the Game Awards. So they have a decent track record for picking the right winner. Why they picked The Last of Us 2? Maybe it's because not that many games are released this year. We've had a lot of good releases this year, guys. Maybe it's because of a lack of options, and they knew that Last of Us was like a AAA game by, you know, a veteran industry, which has sadly fallen hard from grace. But was it a lack of options? They thought it was, hey, we'll just stick Last of Us 2 in there. Is it because it preaches a political message and you got to defend that shit? Or is it because it's just got a fucking ridiculous hardcore fan base that just will go rabid on you if you don't pick it for this category? You know? What is it? Because I just don't see it. I haven't played The Last of Us Part 2. I wanted to play Last of Us Part 1. Didn't play it. Again, I don't have a PS4, so it's hard for me to really say, right? But I wanted to play Last of Us Part 1 just for the story. My brother said it was one of the best games he ever played in his life, and I trust him, okay? Didn't look very astounding to me from a gameplay perspective, but I still wanted to give it a go. Last of Us Part 2, though, not only have I seen plenty of gameplay to know what I'm in for, but behind the scenes, the management, the lies and the marketing, how the employees of Naughty Dog were treated, how the fans were treated, the story, my God. I've seen the leaks, I've seen the reviews, I know the spoilers. That story, if I was a Last of Us fan, I don't know what I would have done. I would have stopped playing in the first 2. Fuck it, spoilers. If you haven't played Last of Us 2, I'm doing you a favor. When Joel dies in like the opening 5 minutes, I would have just returned it. I was like, yep, no, screw it. I paid for a game between Joel and Ellie that was marketed as a game between Joel and Ellie. Because, you know, if you guys know, Naughty Dog actually had in-game footage of Joel and Ellie in a later part of the campaign. And then when you actually played through the game, that was shown to be a complete lie. They took out Joel and put in this Asian character or something. And I understand concealing spoilers, but that is so fucking misleading. Just keep Joel out of the marketing altogether. But of course, that doesn't sell. So they put him in the marketing, marketed it like it was going to be Joel and Ellie all over again. And then they did a Ryan Johnson subversion where they just kill off your favorite character because, you know, fuck the white male protagonist in the gaming industry. Chucked in there a hulking she-male called Abby and, you know, here, enjoy. I would have lost my shit. I feel really bad for the Last of Us fan base. A friend of mine is actually prepping a video about it. It's, doesn't look good. But this is the game that lied to its fan base, treated them like arse, treated their employees like arse during the crunch time to get this game finished and out the door, betrayed its characters, betrayed what made the series great, and on top of that, when people try to speak out about it, Sony and Neil Druckmann, who's the head gaming producer, or the lead of Naughty Dog, were striking channels for anyone talking about it, including this one. You can go back. I made several videos about the controversy, though, since I'm not a Last of Us fan, I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't make too much about it. I didn't make a game review. I just spoke about what was going on and with the controversy and false flagging, which is, like, you can't do that. And every horrible business practice and slimy tactic to get the player's dollar, in this case of The Last of Us Part 2. Everything surrounding the game, as well as what happened in the game, does not even deserve to be considered for Game of the Year category by the Game Awards. No dice. I don't care what shills like fucking Cosmonaut Variety Hour or Video Game Donkey, who had the worst take on this game. I don't care what either of, you know, those... Did they just see Donkey say positive things about it and then they decided to chuck it in for Game of the Year? Because that was your first mistake. Don't listen to Donkey. He's a comedian, that's it. He doesn't know shit what he's talking about when it comes to actual, like, gameplay and, you know, structure and mechanics and all that jazz. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Don't listen to Donkey. And don't listen to Cosmonaut either. Especially if he says, hey, this game is great. You guys are just dumb. Yeah, I get this game. You don't. You're dumb for not getting it. Like, real slimy fucking fan culture surrounding this game. The people who like it are real, from what I've seen anyway, they're really hard to talk to about it because they don't want to hear the other side. People who hate it, and rightfully so, can have a plethora, a long fucking Christmas list of reasons why they hate it, and I can understand why, and I'm not even a fan. And not only that, the gameplay's terrible, the story is arse and pointless with the ending. I know what happens in the ending. The story preaches about not taking revenge. Ellie kills like a zillion bad guys, and the one bad guy she's meant to kill, she doesn't kill. Great, thanks for spending $60 and giving us 40 hours of your time with this, Last of Us 1 retread with only a few new gameplay elements. Like I've seen both gameplays. They look very, very similar. Like not much was done to give it that, that next step, that next evolution in gameplay. It looks very, like I said, like The Last of Us 1 wasn't a fantastic for the gameplay anyway, but like holy shit, The Last of Us 2 looks like they did nothing. And it's going up against Doom Eternal. I swear, if The Last of Us Part 2, and here's where we get to the point of my video, if The Last of Us Part 2, with everything I've said, wins Game of the Year over the likes of Doom Eternal, a universally beloved game with only a handful of people with criticisms, like from the likes of, Upper Echelon Games, who didn't even know how the hell to play it before calling it out, or trying to and failing miserably to call out Doom Eternal, and then insults his fan base when they rightfully say, no, dude, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Please reconsider this idiotic review of the game you're trying to have the hot take on, but you're not, you're just making an ass out of yourself. Doom Eternal, the criticism I've seen is, there's grappling. Okay. The grappling's hard and it's tedious. No, the grappling breaks up the combat zones and paces out the game better, and it gives the player something to do from getting from point A to point B. There's nothing wrong with that. The world's not going to come to an end. I only found one grapple bit a little bit annoying, and that's it. And you know what? The monkey bars actually do add a lot to the combat. I like using them in the combat arenas. Other criticisms have been, there's not enough ammo in the game, when they're simply just not playing the game correctly. Either they suck at aiming and always run out, or they've never heard of this thing called fodder demons, where you can instantly chainsaw and get your ammo back if you police the map, which is what you're meant to do. Police the map for resources, and then keep shooting. Some people have said, but the Marauder sucks. It completely messes up the game design because it doesn't fit with what Doom is meant to be, and they're just talking out of their ass from sheer ignorance. I mean, that claim's been debunked. I mean, even Actman got it wrong, where he's like, the Marauder doesn't fit into this game, yet people can complete Doom Eternal on Ultra Nightmare, which means they complete it on the hardest difficulty without dying. The Marauder fits if you know how to fight it. There are plenty of ways to bring it down. You're just not meant to bring it down the way you take down most conventional enemies. Some people even said that, because the game holds your hand a little bit and tells you how to kill each demon, each new demon when you come across it in a new encounter, when the game tells you how to kill the next demon in the most efficient way, that takes away some of the challenge. I laugh at that because, again, put it on Ultra Nightmare, go nuts, see how long it takes you to complete it, because I guarantee, without the game telling you how to kill each demon the most effectively, it's going to take you exponentially longer. The game ain't holding your hand. That's why Ultra Nightmare exists. That's why Extra Life Mode exists. You know what I mean? The game developers have even said Doom Eternal is meant to be played on the hardest difficulty. Every other game mode is essentially training wheels. And I haven't even completed on Nightmare yet, because I'm not the best Doom player out there, but I fucking love this game. It is the most addictive game I've ever played. One of the reasons I haven't completed on Ultra Violence yet is because, for one, I restarted my playthrough. And two, by the time I got to the Khan Maker on the second last level, I was so burnt, because I just 100%ed a Hurt Me Plenty difficulty playthrough, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, I've been ripping and tearing all bloody week, almost non-stop, and I'm trying to get videos out, but this game is consuming. It's I gotta take a step back. I gotta, go read a book, or go to the driving range or something. You know what I mean? That's, I need to get away from demon slaying. Anyway, and that's why I haven't completed it. But that just shows you how good the game is. I had to force myself to stop playing. So that's, and again, it's universally beloved by all fans, and Bethesda and id Software did a fantastic job with it. And the soundtrack alone, dear God, the soundtrack. People might say that, but The Last of Us had a story where Doom Eternal doesn't. Doom Eternal has a story. It's not the most memorable one, and I wouldn't even say it's a terrible one. It's just, there's a lot of missing context. But it's there if you look. It is a story. And it gives you enough to, you understand the big beats of the story. And guess what? You have a giant codex, which it have put in there, with detailed descriptions of locations, enemies, goals, purposes, everything you need to know. It's all in the game. That's like classic boomer shooter campaign right there. Hell, Halo was, Halo's story in the beginning. You understood the big beats, but there was plenty that you didn't really know until you read the books. That's kind of like Doom Eternal, although I'd say Halo did it a bit better back in the day. But yeah, Doom Eternal has a story. Last of Us 2 has a shitty story, and that's the difference. Not only that, by the accounts I've read, the story drags on for too long, and then there's no payoff, and then it just feels ultimately pointless, like a pointless 40-hour waste of your life. That's essentially what I've seen and heard from The Last of Us Part 2. Doesn't even belong in the same category as Doom Eternal for Game of the Year. And please, if you disagree with me, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Because I sure as shit ain't paying. I'm not even. Naughty Dog would have to pay me they would have to pay me enough money to retire for me to play The Last of Us Part 2. And still I would tell them no. Because fuck The Last of Us Part 2. And Doom Eternal for Game of the Year. Sorry, Ghost of Tsushima fans. I apologize, but I'm back. The horse I'm backing is Doom Eternal, man. Anyway, that's this little rant. I just wanted to sort of talk about this, what's happening, and I wanted to get my thoughts on it. And, oh boy, man. If The Last of Us Part 2 wins Game of the Year from the Game Awards over Doom Eternal, we riot. Or at least I'm going to. You can expect some more videos on that. But, I wanted to sort of just lend my thoughts out there and just, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree, or what do you think of the Game Awards going forward, and what your pick for Game of the Year should have been. Whether it's on the category, one of the 6 that they've chosen, or whether it was left off, like Ori and the Will of the Wisps was. Let me know. I'm eager to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out the video. And if you have a bit of time, consider staying for the outro. First of all, I want to thank my patrons for all of their contributions to the channel. Thank you all so very much. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. And if you guys want to consider becoming a Patreon supporter, then check out the links in the description. And any and all contributions are appreciated, even if it's just $1 per month. It really goes to help out creators like myself. Second thing I wanted to mention is we have a channel Discord for exclusively like gaming content. So if you want to check out my Discord server, we've got like 150 people in there, I think, maybe 130. I lose track of numbers. Head over to the channel's Discord. We'd love to have you in there. I'd like to get your thoughts on certain topics. Doom, Halo, Animal Crossing, I think Nintendo's a category in there. Check it out. You may make some friends along the way. And everyone's welcome. And lastly, this is my secondary channel, in case you haven't figured it out. You can find me primarily on Anomaly Inc. The link for my primary channel is in the description as well. And maybe you'll find some other videos to your liking if you're into like movies, television, pop culture in general. But this is my gaming channel specifically. So if you want some more on gaming, you'll find plenty. And there's more to come. So thank you again for staying to the end of the video. You are a legend, and I'll see you next time.